What's going on? What's going on? Y'all's Greg. Greg said it. Greg said it live. What's going on in the chat? They already crunk up. What's going on? What's going on? DJ H in the building. Who in the chat? Let me know if you're here. Let me know if you're here. If you're in here, let's know you in the chat. Y'all, we got another week gone by. Closer and closer to the spring. It almost feels like last year, y'all. I'm gonna be real with you. Like this thing is like moving. The spring literally is around the corner. Spring and the spring training and all that good stuff. Weather don't know what they want to do, but it's all good. But as we have always said, this thing gonna keep on moving one way or another. When you look at Colorado and what's going on out there, have you noticed any differences so far? Let's just be candid. Have you noticed any differences, and what differences have you seen? I know I've noticed differences. I'm gonna be real with you. Some of the things that I wanted to see, little stuff. I was the person who put on the whole thing last year, if y'all remember. I was the person who made a big deal about the night practices and there's little nuances. I'm a person who like the nuances of the things is what I look at because I think that matters. And I feel like our new strength coach, he represents that. And he's one of the most important things right now. He's one of the most important because he's the face, he's the coach. The other coaches can't go out there and do anything right now. They can look around, but they can't do anything. He is the voice. And one thing that he's preaching is that the mindset, not just talking mindset, but he's walking them through the mindset on what it takes. They definitely look a lot bigger already. Strength that I think they did decent last year, but one of the things that I said, people act like I'm just picking at it and whatever. It is what it is. But one of the things that I said from the beginning, well, I can't say from the beginning, but when we started having challenges, we was winning everything, and I was trying to tweak stuff. Just be happy they won. Then where do people go? They cry when Colorado lost, when they fell apart. I was telling them it's little things you want to tweak while you still got it in your hands, even all the way back to the Arizona game. Now we winning, they still got something to say. I know what I'm talking about because at the end of the day, it was some things. One of the things that really stood out to me that he's already changed is cutting that music off. Now I know some people love that music. I'm not necessarily a component of that, but everybody can do what they want to do. Grown folks, right? Everybody got their opinion. That's in everything. So when I look at that music, it just sometimes my discernment kick in. I'm like, you know what? Something to that. I'm a psychology guy. Hello, Miss Shirley. I'm a psychology guy. I look at things more analytical than most and probably deeper than most because I know some things about how the brain works just personally and from study and just my inquisitive nature. And I can pick up on patterns. One thing that I noticed that kind of get people out of their mind in any setting is certain kind of music, certain kind of lyrics. Like it just looked like a little bobblehead, and it's like you're not focused. You're not focused. Like you just you acting off of impulse. It's very impulse driven. It is because how songs. It's like you hear songs over and over again till you just be repeating them in your sleep. You hear songs so much. You using a different part of your brain. You're not using the kind of part on your brain. Like it's some things you want to kind of be automatic about. Like you're doing your drill so much automatic, but that's your body. That's not your mind as much. Your muscle has what's called muscle memory. Yeah, repetition trains your body as much as it does your mind, almost to the point where you don't have to think about it. But when you're talking about mental thoughts, you playing that music and it ain't got nothing to do with football. It ain't got them. They ain't some of them guys. A lot of them guys ain't the most disciplined guys as far as their thought process, how they take care of their body, how they live their life. It doesn't correlate with what Coach Prime represents. So it's like, yeah, that's young. I want to fit in with the young guy. I want the young guys to be themselves. You only what you've been taught. You only been what you're programmed to be. Act like you know that. You were raised in a different part of the country, you be liking and doing other stuff. It ain't who you are, it's who you've been taught to be. Don't make me get into that. Inspiration, motivation. I get in that later. You are only who you taught to be. I mean, everybody is trainable. What they're doing right now, they're training. Everybody's programmable. People act like they who they are, like they're just who I am. You who you've been taught to be. So when you look at they cut that music off, it's like the different parts of your brain is able to function and are forced to function. That's more similar to what you're gonna need on the field. Because in the field, you're gonna have to be focused. Yeah, it's gonna be music, but it ain't music all the time. But it's music in different parts, it's people cheering, but you gotta have that locked in component. Also, when you cut that music off, it forces people to communicate. So that music is just y'all communicate, y'all just all on the same page for what you're saying. But when you got no music, it's like having no technology, no phones, and it's just me and you. We get to build something different. We get to build a rapport. We get to build communication. I am communicating with you when there's always music playing. You dance and jigaboo. You do that all day, every day. Now you doing on the field. It don't allow me to kind of collaborate on that same level. That's how I look at it. I believe I was right. I believe it was proven. And this thing is, I run this new guy, he's an older guy, come in and say, hey, you have to say it, you see it. They ain't working out with all that music like Coach Mo and all them had. It's different. It's a different chef in town. And when they out there practicing, Shedeur come out there, he cut the music on. He cut the music on when he on the field with the sound system and all that. They ain't out there with no music playing, no DJ. That DJ gone. I don't even know he's gonna be in the locker room. It's something to that, y'all. It's something to it. Do y'all agree? That's my opinion. Did that make sense? Are you there, chat? Because my thing is, what they struggled with the most was discipline. What they struggled with the most was focus at all the wrong times, jumping off sides, doing boneheaded stuff, thoughtless stuff, because you just in there, you ain't thinking. You're not thinking. You're not into yourself. Hear your thoughts, not somebody else's. You're not into your thoughts. You got to do the mental reps. You're not doing a lot of mental reps. A lot of them guys probably don't even do mental reps. They had them headphones in their ear from the time they wake up, they get on the bus, they on the field, they getting ready to game. Some of them even be on the field warming up with them on before they put equipment on. Then by the time they come out there, the speaker system playing the music, they're not doing the mental reps. And when it's time for them to depend on it, all they hear is, that's a big thing to me. I think that's a big thing to me. And I'm glad to see that that's changed. Because I said, cut that doggone music off. I know y'all remember. I said, cut that music off. Because something there. And I think we're going to see the difference. I like to see them working out and communicating. I like to see them, building a connection. Not over a song, but on. You gotta learn that when you're in the trenches, it's almost like a soldier. When you're a soldier, they're not training you with music in your ears. They training you and your thoughts, you and your compadres. That's who's gonna matter the most. Because when you out there, nobody can come in, no song, nothing gonna help you get on the same page in that defensive backfield. Those hand signals, you're really missing out on opportunities to connect because of the music. You're really missing out on opportunities to develop certain understandings about each other. When the coaches get back to the regular, they will play music and instrument. That shit is main focus. Ain't anything. Well, you can say what you want, but at the end of the day, the music ain't on. And you don't know. You will see. Because the reality was, maybe some people just that shallow. Because you're right, it ain't deep. Because you simply look at the last 2 years, the music was on. You know, the music was on. You know, and it's that's always been part of their culture going all the way back to Jackson State when Coach Mo ran it. So you say it ain't, but the reality is anybody with eyes, clear eyes, sober eyes, can see that it ain't on, and it always was on before. I ain't got to make up nothing. It's right there. It's right there. You know, I agree in most part, but I believe they need to bring the music back into the locker room pregame, but only after everyone's dressed, everyone's prepared differently. And that's it. Well, I don't know. I don't know how they gonna do it. I'm not saying there's not gonna be no music. I don't know if the music gonna be after the game when they celebrate. But the key words you just said is everyone prepares differently. So that contradicts the whole idea of making everybody have to listen to music. That's what you got headphones for. That's differently. That's individual. Each individual can if they want quiet, they got quiet. If they want music, they put their individual different music on. But when you subject it to everybody, the person who don't want noise, what they got to do? What do? They got to go and bury this stuff outside. What do they do? If everybody's different, then everybody should have their own individual approach. It shouldn't be something that everybody is subjugated to. If that's the case, that's what you believe. You'll see. When he done. The key is when he done. Which I said he ain't done. The key is when he working out with him, ain't no music on. So you stop it. Because that's what I said. They working out, it ain't no music on. That got to be something he implemented because for 2 years plus Jackson State, that's that. And when it comes to working out, that's what they do. That's what they do. But off your logic, playing music still got us 9-4. Off your logic, you don't know what the music did. Off your logic, you don't know you could have been 10-2. Off your logic, you don't know that what impact it had because you don't know the difference. The logic is that we're gonna see the difference. We are seeing a difference. They got better because they was a better team. That has nothing to do with the music doing it because they played the music the year before and they lost. So what's they got to do with the music? If the music made them better, then they should have had a winning season the year before. They got better because they were a better team. If you listen and comprehend what this conversation is how do you get better going forward? What they didn't get better at is penalties. What they didn't get better at is mental lapses. What they didn't get better at is inconsistency, slow starts. They didn't get better at playing complete games with their 9-4 record. They didn't get better at playing a full game. And I think that has a lot to do with the mental errors. I'm entertaining the clownness right here. DJ Giddens running all over them. Devin Neal ran all over us. Was it the music? So you clearly want at this. You clearly, I don't know, did you watch the games? But mistakes is what caused them to get beat. Missed tackles, not running all over them. Penalties is what got them beat. Even when they won, they had penalties. Mistakes, 3rd and 35. Or consistently not being able to convert on 4th and short, 3rd and short. That's what got them beat, not one person running all over them. Giddens actually didn't. I mean, Giddens had a good game, but that's not why they lost the game. They still had a chance to win the game. I can't speak for Neal, but they was missing tackles. They also made a lot of errors. They also wasn't blocking, missing assignments. The mental edge in the game is what Colorado lacked. Was it? Some people argue physicality was why they lost. Some people argue, oh, Kansas just was too big. They was just so much stronger. They just ran all over them. Not the game I saw, unless you just don't know the game. They was in position to make the plays. The line wasn't dominant over the RD line. The line, deep line was in the backfield. McNeil, how many times was he in the backfield and missed tackles? How many times was Wester in the backfield, wide open in the backfield and missed the tackles? They missed a lot of tackles. Shiloh missed tackles. They missed a lot of tackles. It was mistakes, lack of focus. Coach Prime, since you talking about it, Coach Prime, the coach said they wasn't focused when they pulled up. What they got to do with Neal or Guinness? I was at the game when they played Guinness. When they played Kansas, he said they didn't even show up. He said they lost that game before they even got on the field. So how you say something different than what the coach say? He said it looked like they was content. I heard a lot about when they were practicing. They wasn't focused at practice. Maybe you can't dissect, but I can say I think there's some things that's going on in practice, like the music, that could play a role in it. I don't expect everybody to understand because they clearly you don't. But I do know, like, let's say you're in a school setting and you're trying to be learning. Do you play, what type of music do you play in a learning environment? They tell you to play classical music, instrumental music. If you try to learn, which practice is learning, and you're playing music that takes your focus away because you're dancing, or it's words that's competing with the words from the coach, it can cause some gaps. If you don't believe it, take your behind in there and try to study with certain music on. Play the rap music on while you study. It's common sense. I don't know where we're missing that. If you're studying something where it requires focus for you to remember it, and you always conflicted with that, that could be the cause of the mental errors and the gaps that you keep seeing. It could be. You don't determine what it could be. It could be. It could be. You can't say it ain't because you ain't seen it without it. But listening, when you actually do that, listening to what the coaches are saying, listening to what they're saying about the practice and the games after the game, when you actually go back and listen, I don't know who y'all follow, but you go back and listen to the comments and the press conferences. If you listen to the if you listen to Reach the People, if you listen to what all they're saying, when they interview them, you listen to what they're saying. They're describing what's causing them losses. I watch them win, and certain people who make comments, and he'll be the main one whining when I point out when they winning. Told you that stuff gonna make them lose. I don't know where you come from, but certain stuff gonna make them lose, and that stuff made them lose. They got down to Arizona in the red zone probably 4 or 5 times. They beat the mess out of Arizona, but I said they couldn't convert on short yardage against Arizona when they had the lead. They couldn't. They kept going for field goals, and I'm like, they gotta put the ball in the end zone. They gotta learn how to push the ball in the end zone now. So when they play these other games, they'll have that kind of confidence, they'll have the experience, but they up here struggling. They beat the mess out the team. They ain't scored in the whole quarter, the whole half. They jumped up on them, then they finished weak. They started off slow and trying to finish strong, and it had a lot to do with these same issues. These teams take off on you in the first half, the first quarter, and you have to fight from behind because you're up there doing dumb stuff. You're doing thoughtless stuff. You're making thoughtless errors. You're not a solid team. You're not being, consistent in keeping your assignments. You blowing assignments has caused you to be down 14-0. Against a team you shouldn't be down 14-0, but you got to come back. Yeah, we won. That crap ain't gonna work. And I say you go to BYU, that crap don't work. When you go to certain teams, they don't work. I said that. If you listen, I don't know where these people coming from up here, but if you listen, people who be here all the time, you will know that I said these things gonna catch up. Oh, we winning. Why are you talking about it? You know, this you be quiet. Sit in the back. Sit in the back. You know, I mean, I'm not saying take away permanently, but I mean, it's a time and place for it. And in a time of coaching and learning, maybe you play it like in a game, they play it during intermissions and stuff like that, maybe doing warm up, you know, but you oh man, like I said, take your behind in the classroom and try to learn while you supposed doing your work and why do it while the teacher talking. And he out there, your teacher talking to that person, and you over here listen to your favorite song. You're not paying attention unless he got to talk to you directly to get your attention. It's a reason why that crap don't happen in learning environments. It's a reason. It's not a mistake that they don't even play music with words, regardless of what your culture is, because it competes with another person who's trying to get your attention, and you miss something. I've been on teams where I remember I was in high school and I played. We had a special package they put in for me on certain downs, according to the team we was playing. We were a real good team. And they pulled me away to go on offense because I was playing both sides of the ball, and I missed that segment on defense. When the game came, it was a certain little not I was in position, I was in the task, but it was a certain little scouting component that I missed while I was away that they tried to tell me and would have told me if I didn't get pulled away. That one little thing that I missed, it made a difference because of this little scouting element. When this player do this, we know this about to come. They knew I could remember that, but I missed it because they were pulling me. If you don't pay attention to one nuance because you or you over there with a friend while they out there, you know that they on the sideline dancing while they out there watching, you know, the scout team and all that play, and they, you know, they not paying attention. It also teaches you during the game how to not stay locked in. I used to watch them in the game. I used to hear complaints about in the game. They over there ain't locked in on the sideline. All of that, you know, not staying engaged in the game can make you miss out on stuff or not keep you focused. And it's hard to get back in focus. That stuff plays a role in how you train. That goes to how I was saying they need to practice during the time that they play. All of that is the same thing. All of that is the same. It's no different. Effort has a lot to do with a lot of stuff. You know, it has a lot. It's not what you think. Effort has a lot to do. It has to do with preparation too. Because it's hard to do something, be confident in something that you really ain't confident in. You're not gonna have the same effort. Hype team after yeah, man. He said it. The coach said it. They lost to Kansas because one player's name showed up on all 22 film. What's that? They lost to Kansas because of one player whose name I won't mention. It showed up on all 22 film. I don't know who's that one player you won't mention. Get some initials or something. Happy Sunday. Yeah, go get your Tanggula box. Hey, y'all ain't getting about now. Yeah. Hey, go spend the money. Go blow your money on cable. If you don't know by now, you don't know. They say if you know, you know. Get rid of the locker room DJ. Locker room DJ can come after the game. He come after the game. He come after the game. He don't need to be on a halftime. He don't pregame. They need to be locked in. They need to hear their own voices. Locker room. Yeah, kicks off, knocks it off. Play the same. Yeah. You would know. What's going on for the what is that for Damon? They didn't come to play. That one only game they didn't come to play. Name all the games they didn't come to play. They didn't come to play in Kansas. They didn't really come to play at Kansas State. All the games they lost. They didn't come to play in Nebraska. How many excuses we gonna get? What's the commonality? They didn't come to play. I mean, they didn't come to play at some of the games they won. They Bob didn't look like they came to play against Baylor. They played games closer to teams they shouldn't play around with, or games they should have finished and the team sneak back in. It's a lot of games you say they ain't come to play in. The question is why. You know, the question is why. If you want to see, I'll run through you. I promise you. You wouldn't want to see me. I run through you. I stay in shape. Don't get yourself confused. You want to see it, you can say I run right through you. You lost on a computer screen. It don't be a clown. We got a clown in the building, y'all. Say hello. You don't want talking through a computer screen. What with this computer with it? You're a clown, boy. Get out of here. You won't want to see. Clowns don't want to see that. Why they talking on a computer screen like that? Been powerhouse every year, not Colorado. Colorado's stunting, but hasn't won nothing. They won something. But you got to think about it. How do you compete? How do you compete with those programs like that? Because eventually, you know, they're gonna say, oh, they got more money, they got more NIL, they got all this you know, history, they got more 4-star, they got 5 stars, they got a program and all that. So when you up against that, man, you got to cross all your T's, you got to dot all your I's. You know, you got to cross all your T's, dot all your I's. You know, you don't have no room to really like be unfocused. You don't have no room for error. You know, when you imagine when you, I think Arizona State played a pretty sound game when they played Texas. When you look at the teams who really made it and the teams who did well in the conference, they were known. Every commentator, they were known saying, hey, this team don't make a lot of penalties, make a lot of errors. They don't have a lot of penalties. That's what they're known for. So you got to think about, you don't, if let's say the team is better than you, let's say the team is bigger than you, let's say all that stuff you want to say, if that is true, then you got to look at the fact that you really don't have much room for error. You really don't have much room for error at the end of the day. That's what you got to think about. And I think that's what ultimately, that's that hump that Colorado got to get over. The hump that Colorado got to get over is, before you worry about A, B, and C, you got to eliminate 2 years in a row. Okay, you had a lot of sacks and you had a lot of penalties. And when you think about them having a lot of sacks, you got to think about the fact that a lot of those sacks came from mental errors, not picking up stunts. All these things come back to mental errors. I always had my kids listen to classical music, jazz music when they studied, and wife and pregnant. Yeah, I mean, this comes only a clown confused about that. I'm just gonna be real. Yeah, call it what it is. I'll call it what it is. Because you know, it's a reason why. I mean, it has a lot of studies behind it. It's a lot of programming behind why, you know, you do what you do when you train for someone, when you're trying to focus on something. I mean, that's just what it is. The player did not force the ball inside, keep letting Neil get outside, keep outside. I mean, all of that has to do with you knowing. All right. For the last 2 years. And I'm wondering what the correlation is. Like, you got to think about the fact that Colorado, you got the highest penalties and the highest sacks. A lot of those penalties came from O-line, jumping off sides, hooking the butt and stuff like that. So you got to think about, what is the correlation? And that ain't, you know, we put a lot of energy and time into that. But I think that this just is one of the things that we end up talking about the whole thing with the music. And that's just one obvious thing that stands out. But ultimately, it could be a lot of things that is gonna make this team different. People got their opinion, they throwing out, oh, it's daddy ball. If they play better, they're gonna say, oh, it's because Shedeur left. They're gonna throw that up. If they play better, they're gonna say, oh, he's a better coach without his sons. But it's good they had a good year. I'm glad they had a good year, because they can always move that goalpost and try to flip it back to something else at the end of the day. They're gonna put it out there that, okay, well, you know, they ran more because Shedeur is not a quarterback. And it can be some aspects of truth. People run their mouth like they know at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you don't know. You don't know. But everybody got their opinion on. But I think that the team's camaraderie, I think everything is going to be different. When you look at how they interact, maybe that's a good why they kill each other because of that's a deep analysis. Kill, rob, and a lot of stuff. I mean, but my thing is too. Okay, if that's that kind of music, what is this correlation with football? What is this correlation with football? How does it help you prepare for football? I mean, it's a lot of music that's like hype music. Some music is just general hype music, but you got to look at all of that when it comes to focusing, or when it comes to training. I mean, you can do what you want to do on your own time. You can do what you want to do on your own time, but you better know for sure if it's gonna help you or hurt you if they win 10 games. Yeah. Um, that the people can make this correlation. They can say that. I mean, it's a different season. Like I told Clan last year, it's a different season, so they got different competition. But also their team could be better this year. So you got to compare apples with apples. If they win more games, it could be that the team is better. The defense could be better. I definitely think the linebacker core is going to be better. That's one of the bigger challenges they had with stopping the run. They had inconsistency at the linebacker. It was much better than the year before, but they also lacked depth. They had Bentley running around like his big toe wasn't working, and you really didn't have a lot of depth. And Trevor Woods and all them came in, it was just not there. So I think the Hill Green was solid, but I think that the linebacker core this year has the potential to be a lot more uh, effective, especially when it comes to supporting the D line. I think the D line is going to have some good depth. They can be a better team, and that's a whole nother conversation. I think Colorado could end up being a better team as a whole, and so I don't know if you can say, but well, people can say that they can say that they want to. Salter also brings a different element that the Shedeur didn't have with the ability to run the ball. A lot of those third and shorts and fourth and shorts, he probably be able to get or make the defense have to do something different than just think, oh, we finna blitz them because they're gonna throw it on 4th and 1. Is that because Shedeur better? Is because he just has something different? That Salter's better. Is that because the play calling is better? Maybe the play calling get better. Maybe they adjust. Maybe they got Marshall Faulk back there to run them game to be better. It's a lot of different factors that you can't compare. They got a new old line coach. Maybe he better. Or maybe he brings some schemes that's better. It's a lot of things that may make them better, you know. The drill music is definitely not helping. That clown might think it do though. Is the biggest concern. He was all for it. It's my biggest concern. I can't say I disagree. I can't say I disagree because we ain't really seen no real creativity when it comes to play calling. A lot of it falls on Shedeur. All you do is throw screens. Maybe he's gonna say he calling all these screens, but the lack of motion, the lack of diversity. I mean, we see every now and then they put 2 running backs in the backfield, different stuff like that. But I think at the end of the day, you need more motion. You need more looks. And we kept saying, okay, it's gonna come. It's gonna come. We just vanilla in the beginning of the season. It never really came. It never really came. So I think it's gonna be hard to compare. So a lot of changes gonna have to be made on that offense. You can't. You're not gonna be able to do the same thing with Salt as you did with Shedeur. So by default, it's gonna change. So it's gonna be more running. It's gonna be more design runs for the quarterback. We got more legit tight ends. It's gonna be usage of the tight ends. Shedeur he didn't really have no tight ends this last year. And when he had one, they'd act like he won enough, but he was productive. Mike Harrison was productive. I agree. A better R team, the top, not the same, but they're more balanced. And that's what I'm gonna end it with, really. You know, he said Pat Shermer. I mean, we had other guy, my guy, he's on tight ends. I think he was tight end. He was the coordinator. at Jackson State. It wasn't Pat Sherman. I really would like to see him get a chance. Brett, was it Bartolone? He was at Jackson State. That was the offense, and it was like I said, they used the tight ends, the running game, Savion. They had a couple good running backs. It was well balanced, but I think that Colorado is a more balanced team, and I just hope it doesn't get caught up in the wash where people say, "Oh, it's because Travis gone. Oh, it's because Shedeur gone. Oh, it's Daddy Ball gone." And versus you saying it's just a better team. It's a more complete team. I just named multiple things. We didn't have to get that deep. The offensive side, you got tight ends in the room this year that actually can block and go get the ball. They athletes, and they got the prototypical tight ends that he didn't have last year. That makes a big difference. Having tight ends as weapons that a lot of the other teams in the Big 12 had that you didn't have. The big tight ends that can help block and get out there and get, make some plays in the middle of the field while they blitzing. Or let's say Marshall Faulk make a difference in the running back room. They definitely eating in the weight room. They definitely. I said them boys need to get in the weight room last year. Them little bit of arms. They already looking like this. AI already looking like that. All them boys looking good in the weight room. It's gonna play. It's gonna look. You're gonna see the difference. The strength is gonna be there. You need that at running back to get this yardage and break these tackles. They're gonna be better. Having a running quarterback as an option to make you say, "Oh, y'all want to do all this blitzing, y'all want to key in on our quarterback." Okay, we got something for you. He's a legit running threat, and he can throw the ball deep. They're gonna be better with this combination of factors, with a more quality depth at linebacker, a lot of returning. They led in sacks. A lot of these guys returning back on the D line. Plus, you got some bigger D line. You got some depth in D line. They're going to be better on the D line. They're going to still be sacking. They're going to have better linebacker play. They're going to have the cornerbacks that's coming back. They are experienced. McKinney's experienced. Hood is experienced. They're not bringing no brand new people. These boys returning into the same defense they was in last year. That's different because the first year team came in with a new coordinator. Then the last year team just got the coordinators who are here now. These guys coming back in a second year up on the same coordinator. Coach Prime at Colorado ain't had that yet because every year they had a different coordinator. This is the first year that the coordinator stayed. So these boys are getting a chance to build. That can make you better. That can make you better at the end of the day. This team, more talent, more focus, more discipline. And see, and it's like you don't have a superstar you can key in on. You don't have they don't really know who to get hyped up on. It's going to disarm them in a lot of ways because I'm not going against Travis Hunter. I'm not going against Shedeur. You hyping all up, and then you go get your butt whooped the next week because you get all hyped up to play these Heisman potential first round draft guys. And now you go, oh, that is Red Colorado going to beat your butt to sleep. You're not going to get hyped up on them. They ain't got the superstars like they used to that they might become superstars, but you can't get juiced up on them. You might even underplay them. A lot of teams, they don't be careful. They're gonna say, "Oh, who Colorado? Who they got? I don't know who all these boys. He from Liberty. He from here. He from all these low level. They ain't got nobody. They might look over Colorado, which is not happening in the last couple of years. Even though Coach Prime's still there, people want to beat him, but you don't have no necessary what you call Heisman candidates, projected Heisman candidates right now. But they could become it. They can sneak up on you. And that's what's going to make Colorado really dangerous. He said, I think the Colorado is going to do much better with creating turnovers and score. Yeah, I think that if they do good at stopping the run, they're going to be a better team because everybody who was on the schedule last year that wasn't, they're on that this year. And those teams run that ball. And you got to be in this conference, they're going to run that ball. The quarterback's decent, but even the quarterbacks run. Our state quarterback going to be running. Your linebackers got to be on point. But guess what? They linebackers better be on point too, because we got somebody that can run it too. And he gonna run it. That's just what it is. So it's like we kind of like we more in line with what these other teams' weaknesses are. Let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna end with this. That consistency. I think that they set up for consistency right now with how they training. When you look at Colorado, competition. The biggest problems that these teams had last year, when you looked at all that craziness happening at the end of the season, it had to do with two things that everybody struggled with. Everybody struggled with it. Arizona State got away with, sneaking up on people in the end. And maybe they was a little better at it, I don't know. But when you look at the fact, Iowa State, they struggled with UCF, running quarterback, strong running backs. BYU got caught up. They almost lost to Oklahoma State. Go figure. We messed out Oklahoma State. Maybe they gave up by then. And then you got Houston came in and popped them. When you look at these teams who had those running quarterbacks, when Kansas came in and beat everybody, running quarterback, strong running back. That's the formula for this conference. We was throwing, that was cute. And it helped us beat a lot of teams because they couldn't do nothing with our passing game. But because we lacked that running game to get those short down conversions, which caused us to punt, caused us to kick field goals. Those was the difference between the game where everybody talking about what was the difference. Go back and look at the games. Short down, short distance, hard to convert because we lacked the ability. We didn't have that big running back or that quarterback who can get these short downs. That was the difference. And I just believe what's going on, Jizzle. I believe that at the end of the day, that's why Colorado is going to be different. They're going to be better because we call it balance, but really they have the tools that really give teams a hard time. And they really struggle with getting the short yardage. They were trying to pass on 4th and 1, 3rd and 2. Everybody else just shove it down our throat. They pretty much a guarantee. BYU, this is a guarantee. A lot of teams, they can 1 yard, 2 yards. Most of the time, we're going to get it. That's how they feel. That makes the difference in the game. I remember even with Nebraska, even in Kansas, when they were going back and forth with Kansas before it kind of went out of hand, it came down to some short yardage stuff that they couldn't convert on. They moved the ball good, and then they hit a brick wall right when they cross over halfway over the field, and they couldn't kick the long field goal. They blame it on Mata, and a lot of times they'll take a penalty to punt it, and then make still kick it in the doggone end zone. I'm like, why we take a penalty, unnecessary penalty on the books? And he still kicked the ball in the end zone. He had that tough year. He wasn't as good as the year before. And it all came down. The real reason was they couldn't get 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1. So they was punting. And it was too far to kick the long field goal. And that's what would hurt them. They would move every game y'all say that they got whooped. They moved the ball. They moved the ball on Nebraska. They just couldn't convert. They got down in the red zone about 4 times. One of the field goals got blocked. They missed field goals. They said it was too long against Nebraska. You said, we got whooped by Nebraska. But the reality was we had the opportunity to be in that game because they was down there. But the weakness was short yardage. We could say red zone, but it really was short yardage. When they got down there, they couldn't convert. And that's the same issue I've seen that I pointed out when they couldn't move the ball on Arizona. Yeah, we were up by 30 points or whatever, but I kept saying, why we got down to the end of the game and all we were doing was kicking field goals? Because we couldn't even get short yardage, even on the 5-yard line, on the goal line. We couldn't punch it in. They should have found, I don't care, you got to go put in what they call the Rick Ross package, get some bigger linemen in for the goal line, something, because all these short yardage situations hurt Colorado. So now that you got hopefully a better line and you got a quarterback, I watched even a little bit of Jaden Daniels, a little bit himself, was able to convert. He was able to convert. It would be 3rd and short and 4th down there. Go for it. Because the reality was, Jaden Daniels, as small as he is a threat in short yardage. He's a more threat than a running back. That's how I watch him. I ain't really pay attention to watching him later. I watch him in the playoffs and say, God, Jaden Daniels is a problem. Every time there's a short yardage, he's going to get the first down. It's guaranteed he's going to get the first down. They're a pro team. They stay going on it on fourth down because the doggone quarterback was going to get it. If Salter pulled that off, you ain't got to worry about no running game. If Salter can be like, man, 3rd and 2, there's no way I ain't getting it. Because y'all can't account for me. Y'all can't account for me. If I get outside, y'all ain't getting me. If I get outside. That's the problem. If Salter can be that guy, like how Jaden Daniels in Washington, and it's short, and they're gonna nut up because they're gonna be like, oh shucks, he gonna get it. We can't account for him. Because by the time we tackle him, he's gonna have the first down. They're gonna have a problem. And I think that's the potential Colorado have, and that's the potential we say, oh, he better than Shedeur. He has the tool set for this conference. He has the tool set for the modern quarterback. The pocket passes, very few of them. The great quarterbacks that's going to the Super Bowl and deep in playoff right now, they're dual threat quarterbacks. So Salter can have a chance to make a name for himself. Absolutely. Anybody who paid any kind of attention saw that. Their own coaches said it. Anybody who this is running their mouth just showed up to you watch any Colorado games. They come focus were for crap. Let's be real. Whether they were coming from behind or leading. Even every time they get ahead, Texas Tech, anybody, Cincinnati, they get ahead, they let the team come back on them. They lose focus. They get over there and be like, the game over. They didn't know how Arizona, they didn't have no killer instinct. We get up on you, we're going to get 70 points. They get up on there and don't score no more the rest of the game. Maybe get a couple field goals. You look at the freaking stats. We do it every Sunday. I showed it to you. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter. And we see the pattern. They start out slow. And they get all the points the third and fourth quarter. They start off fast, they don't barely score the rest of the game. Kicking field goals. The defense made it look good because, like, even with UCL, they're trying to come back at the end. Defense held them off. Defense held a lot of them games off when the team looked like they about to come back on Colorado because the offense took their foot off the gas, put their foot on the brakes. That was the challenge, y'all. And if they can get rid of that, they're going to be a far better team. He's on 9-4. Fool, that is nothing. That was below average for the team that we just saw. That's the worst they should have been. That's not nothing to brag about. They had freaking two really not Hall of Fame, two Heisman candidates on the same team. They gave it to one. They're finna show the top 5 draft picks. And yeah, they went 9-4. I kept saying last year team, the year before that was an 8-4 team, even though they went 4-8. Look at how many doggone games it was stolen from them, but look how many games they lost by a field goal and less than a touchdown the year before. But everybody talking about only somebody silly look at the record, but you don't look at how they lost the games. A smart person look at how you lose the games and how you win them. I can show you how you win a game. They can show you how you end up losing it. I tried to warn them all the way back as far as Arizona. Say, y'all, we don't get this jump together, you have a problem. That was before Kansas. That was after Kansas State. That was before Kansas, and that was before the bowl game. And it continued certain habits, and it embarrassed you. BYU was able to embarrass you because there's no way you're going to beat a good team being inconsistent. There's no way you're going to beat a good team. They ain't got to be great. A well-coached team, you spot them 14 points, 21 points, it's a wrap. They know how to step on the brakes. They know how to step on the brakes. They know how to kill it. And with that, we're going to close out. Smart guy clown because you here. Say hello to the clown. That's why you're here. And I appreciate everybody showing up on this wonderful Sunday, taking your time out. We're going to be having the inspiration, motivation, ladies. Greg said it. We almost went normal time today. We almost went normal time today. It's my goal to, we looking at doing about 30 minutes on Sunday off season. But, we went a little deeper. But that's my gift for y'all for the day. This is Greg said. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. And I'll be talking to y'all soon. Y'all have a good one.